Hey guys, Anthem here, and welcome back to another Minecraft video. And today I'm going to be showing you guys some more tiny homes concepts within Minecraft. I got 3 of them here, but more specifically, I'm going to be giving you guys a top 5 tips on tiny homes within Minecraft. And these tips are intended to be really useful actually, so that you wind up getting your intended effects with the homes that you actually wind up creating. So for example, most of the posts that I wound up seeing on Reddit involving tiny homes involved beds that don't have valid spawn points. The beds would be there and they wouldn't have obstructions on the top or to the sides of them, but because there wasn't a block at ground level, then the bed itself wouldn't actually work. So if I go ahead and actually try and sleep in this bed here, you're going to notice that I'm going to spawn directly on top of the bed. And that's pretty much the key that it failed, because if I go ahead and I kill myself, which I think is the best actual way to test if your bed works or not, whether or not you're on creative mode or survival, it doesn't matter, you'll have the same result. If it says your home bed was missing or obstructed, then your bed failed, and it will not work and it will not protect you in any way if you die anywhere on your map. It'll just say your home bed is obstructed and you'll spawn at your default spawn point. So I'm going to be giving you guys some tips in order to avoid pitfalls like that. So number 1 is that there can be no blocks, semi-transparent or otherwise, it doesn't matter, in between an enchantment table and the bookcases. So if I go ahead and I enchant this diamond sword here, you're going to see that it is level 30. So there can be a block directly above the enchantment table, but there cannot be any blocks in between them, and there also can't be any blocks 1 block above them in between the enchantment table and the bookcases themselves. So within this sort of area right here, let's go ahead and let's just do this, bam, bam, bam. Like, you can't have any blocks right here within this sort of 3x3 area. If I go ahead and I try and enchant here, you're going to notice that there's just no additional enchantment levels for me to be had. So the bookcases are not serving their intended effect. That was a major issue that I was seeing with some of the posts as well, is that there would be like 1 or 2 bookcases in some of the builds, but then there would be blocks obstructing them. And it doesn't actually matter what you have in between here. Like, they can't be semi-transparent or anything. So if I plant potatoes here thinking, you know, oh, there's plenty of room in between them, that should work, right? No, it doesn't actually work. It removes a lot of the enchantment levels. So yeah. All right. Tip number 2 is that you can actually have solid blocks above your bed, but not above your spawn point unless it's like carpet or water. It's actually really weird. Some things do work, but most things don't. So as you can see, if we go ahead and we look right here, I have a bed right here. I have 2 fully solid blocks above it. This is untilled grass. It's just kind of there. Now, logic would dictate that this bed is obstructed. But if I go ahead and I sleep in the bed here, you're going to notice that because I don't spawn on top of the bed, I instead spawn beside it. That's the key. If I go ahead and I kill myself off here, you're going to notice that I still spawn right beside the bed. Now, you might be thinking, well, Ant, okay, you're on creative mode. You know, creative mode, clearly this works differently, right? No, it doesn't work differently at all. So I still spawn directly next to the bed, even though there are blocks right above it. However, you cannot obstruct any of the potential spawn points. So if I instead, let's just take, let's just take some slabs here. And let's go ahead and let's block every single possible spawn point here, right? I'm on survival mode. That's kind of bad. So let's go ahead and let's block every single possible spawn point, which these are all of the potential spawn points for a bed. Even corners do count. And I go ahead and I try and sleep in the bed, then this will not work. I'll spawn like kind of on top of the bed. It's going to kind of push me out there. And that's the key that it didn't work. So it's going to say that your home bed was missing or obstructed. But if I break even 1 of these blocks, then it will work because there is an available spawn point for the bed. That's really what counts. Even at a corner, it does work just fine. If I go ahead and I kill myself here, then it still does work. Alright, so moving on to the next item on the list here is that you might want to consider making really good use of Minecraft or minecart chests and furnaces. But I would personally recommend that you actually use minecart furnaces, as if there is some kind of issue with your map and you, like, for whatever reason lose every entity on the map, say because of a version switch and something just kind of bugs out, then furnaces are a little bit more disposable. You're not necessarily losing, I think this is like, what, 27 items worth of stuff. So losing that because, say, for example, oh no, suddenly everything got deleted, and let's just go ahead and let's just, you know, kill this right here. Boom, kill the minecart chest. Let's go ahead and let's increase the radius here and kill that one right there. You know, oh no, suddenly your stuff disappears. Well, if it's a furnace, it's not gonna matter too much. Just, you know, keep that in mind that, you know, use them, but use them sparingly so that you don't wind up, you know, winding up with a crisis and having all of your items disappear. All right, so the last item that I have on the list here, because I kind of did 2 tips at once here when I did the sort of like solid blocks above beds, but, you know, the spawn point and whatnot. So the last item on the list here is that, you know, try and, you know, be a little bit frugal in terms of which items you use for your walls. Try and never use solid blocks for your walls because they're a potential waste of space. So obviously using chests for your walls is really efficient, but also using something like anvils is pretty efficient as well. So if I go ahead and I try and fire my bow through the gap in the anvil here, it doesn't actually work. So if I go ahead and I just, you know, I try and do this, it doesn't work. But if I go ahead and I try and fire, say, through the gap in an enchantment table, that can work, but it is mostly safe. A skeleton would have to be in a very specific position in order to be able to hit you, and it would have to fire a very accurate shot to do it. So just sort of like, you know, use your threat modeling. Just try and think like what is going to be the safest item to actually use for your walls. So don't use, say, like a brewing stand, because a brewing stand, you can pretty much like always get through the gap in a brewing stand. So that's really just kind of as safe as nothing. So yeah, let me actually just fire right at the center here. Yeah, like, look, I fired right through the center of the brewing stand. It's not really safe at all. So yeah, all right, those are my top 5 tips for tiny homes within Minecraft. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys 2 more additional concepts for tiny homes and then show you guys the new home that I've made. Even though you guys have kind of seen them, I just want to show them off for the fun of it here. So this one was made by Reddit user GreatlyGallivant, and this one is a fairly interesting concept, and it does have all of the good things that I mentioned before. There is a bed with a valid spawn point, so if I go ahead and I climb in, the bed will actually work. And this one has just a crap ton of storage space. It's got storage space on the back walls, it's got storage space on the sides, and on the other sides as well. And if we go ahead and we hop into the water here, which can, you know, either be used for fertilizing soil out here, even though this isn't part of the home design, I just kind of added it in because it's kind of neat. You can, you know, underneath the water here, you can of course put like, you know, there's a jukebox right here, there's a brewing stand, there is an anvil, and there's an ender chest here as well. So plenty of storage space right underneath the floorboards here. So yeah. All right, so moving on to concept number 2. This one was made by Reddit user Mighty Burger, and this guy decided to completely memeify the entire process. And, you know, if we go into the house here, it looks like a rather unassuming just house, you know, that has some, you know, compactness to it. It's got a chest that's accessible, you know, with all of the gambit of normal items. But he makes the argument that entities don't count as blocks, which is technically true. It's technically correct, which is the best kind of correct. So if we go ahead and we climb on top of the house here, you're gonna see there's stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks of minecart chests and boats, just because boats, and you know, why not? I mean, boats, they count as well, so might as well do it. I probably should add some minecart furnaces here as well, because YOLO, whatever, it doesn't really matter. If I go ahead and I store some stuff in here, they're still gonna be there, right? And they're not blocks, so technically, you can add infinite storage into a 0 block radius. Yeah, I know, I'm just kind of messing with you guys here, but I thought it was a funny concept and I just wanted to show it off nonetheless because it was quite humorous. All right, and lastly on the list here is my tiny home here. This is, of course, my second tiny homes design. My first one is over there. So let's go ahead and let's check this out here. So this one is a 5x5x4 design, or a 5x5x3 technically if you remove these and you don't count the plantation area. But I do count the plantation area, so in my book it's 5x5x4. And this one has a full 100% enchantment table. So we can see that this goes up to level 30. It's got plenty of storage space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 full chests. I almost had 6, but I had to make this block a grass block in order to have a valid spawn area for the bed, because again, you do need the block at ground level for the bed in order for the bed to actually be valid. So yeah, this is my tiny home here. It's got a furnace, it's got an ender chest, which does work. Bam, bam, bam. These all work because the blocks above them are semi-transparent, because they are the, you know, the tilled soil. So yeah, all right. that's pretty much it, I think. I don't think there's really much else I can really do with the tiny homes concept. If you guys have any ideas, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. But I think that's probably gonna do it for me for now. Hope you all have enjoyed. My name is Ant Venom, and I bid you all farewell, guys. Thanks so much for watching.